Could John Schneider be on his way out as Blue Jays manager as top prospect Orelvis Martinez gets suspended for PED use? Hey everyone, welcome into Long Ball. Rob Wong, joined alongside by Toronto Sun Blue Jays writer Rob Longley. And Rob, the Blue Jays may have officially hit rock bottom on Sunday, losing their sixth game in a row to drop them to 35-42. They also had a recent call-up and top prospect suspended. We'll get to that in a moment, but the Blue Jays have pulled a lot of strings on the field. They have yet to pull one off the field when it comes to manager John Schneider or any of the coaching staff, in fact. And as you know, fans have been calling for a change on the bench for a while. But in your opinion, Rob, would that even make a difference?
I'm not so sure it would, Rob. I mean, I think the issues and the problems and the struggles with this team are so deep rooted right now that changing a manager might not be the way to go. You look at it, really, the issues are, like I said, far bigger. They're more organizational than they are in terms of the way a game is being managed, night in and night out. You can certainly quibble with a lot of the moves that Schneider has made over the past little while, and I think that's a natural reaction of a fan base when things aren't going well. But you have to remember that John Schneider's moves are not made in isolation. They're very rarely made with his gut. They are scripted in a lot of ways by the baseball operations department and the front office. And so when it comes down to questioning or deciding on getting rid of a manager, it's basically an indictment of the front office itself. And at what point is General Manager Ross Atkins allowed to essentially hire a fourth manager? Yes, I know he inherited John Gibbons, but he also extended John Gibbons before firing him. Then he hired Charlie Montoyo and fired him. Then he hired John Schneider. Is he going to fire him again as well? All in relatively short order, by the way. So I think it would, in some ways, it would surprise me if John Schneider were to get fired. The only way that I could see it happening is if there was at some point, and at some point you got to figure something like this does happen, that there'd be serious pressure coming from ownership, which so far has kind of kept hands off on the whole thing and let President Mark Shapiro run the team. And I think we talked about this recently, Rob. Last Tuesday, there were 39,000 people at the Rogers Center to watch it. The fans are still going. Yeah, on Tuesdays they're getting in there for their $1 hot dogs, but they're still spending $18 on their Bud Lights. So the Rogers is still making good money from this team, and if there's a sucker born every minute, maybe they're fine with this. But I can't imagine that at some point the ownership has to say, listen, what's going on here, and what types of moves are required to fix it. And if there is a scapegoat necessary, there is a chance that it could be John Schneider. We've already seen General Manager Ross Atkins roll the bus over him. So would he do it in a far more dramatic way? We'll see.
Yeah, it is very possible, but that does seem like a conversation for later because nothing has happened so far yet, despite the Blue Jays on this rough stretch. So as I mentioned, Orelvis Martinez, in case you hadn't heard the news, the Blue Jays prospect was suspended 80 games for taking performance-enhancing drugs. Rob, he'll be out until September. It just seems like another low point in this disaster of a season.
Yeah, it's the last thing this team needed on a number of fronts. And, it's one of the few things you can't really blame the front office for because it was all on the kid for doing something pretty stupid, right? These guys, these young players, when they're drafted or when they're signed and when they show up at spring training, they're well schooled in how this stuff works and how to avoid the PEDs. And it's very clear that MLB comes down hard on them. We've seen every year we see a number of minor league players, it seems, get hefty suspensions. So this one's all on Orelvis Martinez, but it couldn't come at a worse time for the team. Now he was going to be sent down to Buffalo this week, I'm pretty sure. But a couple of things. If he is the one power bat in the organization that was close to the major leagues, so that goes away as an option to help this struggling offense. And also, if there is a fire sale by the team next month, or if there's any deals made at the trade deadline, or Elvis Martinez would have been a potential trade chip, and now he's not because he can't do anything for 80 days until September. So, yeah, it was another real kick for a team that was already down. They didn't really need that, and it's just very much emblematic of the way things have been going for the 2024 Toronto Blue Jays.
Yeah, as you said, just not what this team was looking for, and we'll see what's on the horizon. Going to be another difficult week with the Red Sox and Yankees coming up on the schedule. As always, leave your thoughts in the comments section below. You can find all of Rob's Blue Jays coverage at the Toronto Sun.